Hi, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for again joining on my podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. As you know, I wrote that book, which is a top seller in Amazon. Internationally also got a lot of acclaim, reviews and all. And this podcast is about syndication, about commercial investing. I like to bring great guests for you and dig into their story, their successes, and find out some nuggets from them so that you could really enjoy them and learn from them and then implement them. All right. Hey, guys, you're in for a big treat. This is Vinney Chopra. As you know, I come live to you on Fridays at about 9:30 Pacific with the Vinney and Bo Show, and also the podcast, Syndication Made Easy. The books are coming out, a lot of great material. Please like, comment, and, subscribe to my channel and everything. I have a great friend. Just a great human being right here with me. Ellis Hammond is in the studio here today. We're gonna have so much fun. You're not gonna believe it. And Ellis is right here from California, from San Diego. I'm in the Bay Area, right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and love to invite, let's talk a little bit about Ellis, and then he's going to talk about a lot of great things, how to passively grow your net worth through multifamily investing, through faith, through, belief and great purpose to run, how to scale the company, which he's able to do so nicely in such a short period of time, how to scale your real estate portfolio through joint ventures and collaborations, how to get more money for your investment deals by focusing on a special niche, and why profit matters according to the Bible. Oof. I'm really looking forward to, getting into that, because I worked for over 30 years with a Bible faith company. And I learned so much from my mentors. Everybody was very, very solid, Bible, driven. And actually the company, oh my gosh, I sold books with also door to door when I came into this country, which started in 1855, also started selling Bibles to Confederate soldiers. Some of you might know, some of you not. So I know a lot more, and I respect, quite a bit. I've learned so much from. And then how Ellis consistently generates 7 figures off one deal. So Ellis, brother, welcome. You're also the founder of Kingdom REI. So, I'm so excited to have you on my show, and let's dig into it. Who is Ellis? Tell me.
Who's got the? Hey, Vinney, we should take a vote in the comments wherever this is going to be. Who's got the bigger smile, Vinney or Ellis? I've always been told I had a big smile until I met you, and it just gets bigger every time I talk with you. So. Grateful to be on. Vinney, it wasn't that long ago, man, where I remember I was driving in my 2001 Ford Explorer Sport that I bought. My grandfather bought me because, we didn't have any money really. I was a college pastor. I really wasn't making much money, but man, I had a vision and a dream that maybe God could use me to do much more than just college pastor. That what if I could leverage both my time and my money to have a great impact? And I can remember, man, this is so cool to even reflect on, is I remember your story. And, at that point in my life, it was just listening to podcast shows and hearing your story, and you coming to this country and being able to accomplish what you have done through syndication, and hearing your passion for life and the passion to use business for good. And that was one, like many mentors everyone has. No one does this alone. But it's stories like that, man, where people listen and say, if that guy can do it with the belief and the faith that he had, maybe there's options for me. And so I hope that my story today will be that for someone like you were for me, because that's true. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I was a full-time college pastor. My entire network was 18 and 19-year-olds. I always say like my network, they say your network is your net worth. Well, if that's the case, I had like a negative net worth because all of my network was college students in debt. Right. So that means like, no, they not only did not have money, they owed money. Right.
Yeah.
And so, we got started. I mean, we've built $100 million plus real estate portfolio, one deal, one investor at a time. And I just want to, hope if there's anything that comes from my story today is that you can think and go bigger. Like I promise you, it's not as scary as you think it is, but you have to have the vision to be able to go bigger. And you have to be able to have the vision of what can happen when you begin to think and dream bigger. Because
hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my apartment syndication made easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you.
What can happen when you begin to think and dream bigger? Because big dreamers, talented people are not attracted to small visions.
Yeah.
And I think the difference, Vinney, and a guy like you and a guy like me, it's not that we're superiorly smarter than everybody else.
Not at all.
Right? It's that, but
it's
we have big vision.
For me, I'm not smarter than anybody on the street. I'm telling you.
But you dream something, you envision something, which begin to attract the right people and the right opportunities in your life. And that's what a lot of this is all about, man. So anyways, we can dive into that, but that's who I am.
No, we will. Let's talk about that. I think a lot of us get shackled with our small thinking, what you just talked about, right? And we put limitations on us by ourselves because of our past. Mm-hmm. I think that's the other trouble we all have, because I shouldn't say just the past, but also our peer group. Our peer group, the people we associate, our family, many times they are not in a position to take us from point A to point B. They are always thinking about security, status quo. That's what I found. When I wanted to dig out and be an eagle, let's say, come out of the nest, right? It was that I was being hampered by other people to think small. Do you believe in that? Yeah.
I mean, 100% from the day that, we start school till, everything is designed to, go like, and everyone has this expectation for you. Go down this certain path and go do this certain thing because, and even especially the people that love you because they don't want to see you get hurt or disappointed or, fail.
Yeah.
And that's typically the hardest things to break out of and to separate and say, the reason this person doesn't want me to go down this path is because they
love
don't
me.
know what's available. Right?
Yeah, they don't know what's out there. And they love us so much. They don't want us to get hurt and rejected and, go in a spiral and all that. You're right. You're right. And so how do you break out of that?
Yeah, it's such a good question. I really don't think, I shouldn't say it's not difficult because it's extremely difficult, but I think the path that took me on this road was really simple. Vinney, I really truly believe you can determine a man or a woman's destiny by two things: the books that he or she reads and the people that they hang out with.
Totally. Oh my gosh.
So
true.
It's the intake of information. Like you have to begin to change the intake that you're taking in, because that can massively affect what your thoughts, your minds, what you continue to speak to yourself. And then ultimately, like, there are very, very few people in this world that can dream something that they haven't already seen. I think Elon Musk is why he's so amazing, because he envisions a future that no one has ever seen. Most people, including myself, get our dreams and our visions from the people that we hang out with. What is possible is based on, man, I look at you, Vinney, I hear your story and say, all right, well, I can go do that, right? I can get there. And I think that's it. Now, it's like, that's why, being and putting yourself around other people. I mean, when I was a college pastor, for me, I couldn't necessarily afford your mastermind, Vinney, or your education program. So I had to get you free on podcast shows. And some people might be on, and that's why you're listening. Great. But as you could start to build up some cash reserves, instead of investing in real estate, what I did is I invested in mentorships. I invested in events. I invested in masterminds that just began to put me in the rooms with people who thought differently. I mean, I'll give you a great example. This is still a lot of money for me, but I spent $30,000 last year to go to a 2-day workshop. And to be honest with you, I did not go there for the information. I went there because there's a certain amount of people that would pay $30,000 to go to a 2-day workshop.
So true. So true. That's a high caliber. That's a way up there. I mean, and that's what stimulates you. That's what gets you excited. And you are thinking and planning and expecting results. The other part also, Alice, is when you spend that kind of money, you change. Your chemical reaction in your body changes. You become a student, a sponge, rather than just going there for the fun of it. Hey, I just paid $147 to go to this seminar, and then you don't have expectations that big either.
Right.
When you commit that $30,000, I knew you went there with a big purpose.
100%. And I think that's the thing too, is like, for me, I used to think 10 grand was a lot of money, like paying for something, was a lot of money. And what I realized is like the people I respect and who are really wealthy and are really creating value in the world and creating capital and doing massive things with it, 10 grand is not a lot of money to them, like relatively. And so you have to begin, and this is for me, like, and if this is not even about money, guys, I hope you realize that. My point is that you have to begin to think about money very, very differently in order to get to this level. And most people, especially starting out, and you say, how do we break out of this? That $10,000 or that $20,000 or that $50,000 that's sitting in your bank account is your biggest limiting factor, because you're trying to manage that money and grow that little bit of money, where the real wealthy people are investing that into relationships, investing that into skills and knowledge and opportunities. That's what's accelerated me, Vinney. I mean, I didn't even worry about investing until I put so much more money, man, into sales training, because I didn't know anything about sales. I put more money into marketing training. I didn't know anything about marketing, right? I mean, just that's it, like over and over and over and over and over until, I've been able to now build what will be really soon a 7-figure company, because I had to build those skills, and realizing that 10 grand is not a lot of money to invest in maybe a coaching program or a sales program or whatever it is, if that 10K can produce
20x, 100x. Exactly.
So that was how I got there. Time, effort, learning new skills, meeting new people, helping me kind of really break out of those old money mindsets. I mean, I just had baggage, man. And if anyone's really honest with themselves, they got money back. They got old money baggage too, mindset baggage. You gotta realize it, and you gotta, change what you read, change the people you hang out with.
Exactly. And make a decision. Isn't it true? I mean, Alice, once you make a decision, sometimes we make decisions with a good feeling, right? And it's what decision we make and what we do with that decision carries more weight than the instant when we made it.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good decision, bad decision. It's not at that moment. I always have felt it's what I do with it, that decision, and hold myself accountable. I think let's talk about that. Accountability is so huge in anybody's life, and the purpose-driven life has more accountability than anything because you are accountable to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you keep that momentum and that pace? Let's dig into that. I mean,
Yeah, early on, I didn't really have accountability partners because there was no, who was I? Who was gonna, I couldn't tell my colleagues what I was doing. They didn't really understand. It's not like I go to my college students and tell them, they wouldn't understand. And so